So look at that. Delivered to BMW in 43. So, and what's more curious, so here's the chuck from the machine, and I don't know what make that is. It has sort of this diamond shape logo on it. It's in pretty bad shape, as I can, see, but the jaws are not in that bad of shape, or at least they were ground. Oh, let me focus. Yeah, okay. So they are not really that bad. But look what they say. Each one says 41 on it. Likely made in 41. If anyone has better idea of what this means, what the chuck is make, who made it, please let me know. These 45s here, I don't know what they mean. Maybe they were delivered as reparations in 45. I'm not sure. BMW inventory number. They may also be this guy here. It's a little bit scratched out, but it's not 45. Anyways, she is more or less in the general area where I want her to be. Okay, so when we lift the lid off once again, here's what we have. This is our drawing, and I obviously wanted to pull the spindle out to see in what shape it is and do some measurements and whatnot. However, I was lucky enough to have this drawing, but it is missing this part here. I have no idea how it comes apart. Well, I have some idea, but not that good of idea, right? So what we have here, let me just, okay, so there you go. This is what we have. So this is this part here, right? That guy. It's missing transmission gears. Here they are. So what we have is obviously a key, but this key does not go, or couldn't possibly go all the way down to the spindle. I don't think so, because this key is meant to hold on to this lever or lever mechanism. So there's that. This is obviously a sleeve, and I don't think that this key goes all the way down to the spindle. However, this would have to be somehow connected to the spindle, possibly via another key or something else. I'm not sure. If anyone has any idea, please let me know. What we have here is a sort of mechanism that has a wire, securing wire, around a nut, what looks to be a nut, right? So there is a thread on there. I am not sure if the thread goes on the spindle itself or not, because the schematics doesn't say it. And this is just a gear selection as a direct drive or reduced speed. If the pulley goes way faster than the spindle, then this is obviously a slower speed. Once again, here's a look at the nut with the securing wire, and this wire, let me tell you, this wire is hard. it's really tough. I tried to kind of remove it. I don't know how it was assembled without any instructions. I don't dare to attempt it until I'm sure how it was set in the first place. We also said that this machine belonged to a school which didn't really take care of it. This machine was abused. I mean, it has all kinds of marks on the bedways. It has decent wear. I mean, it was built in 43. What would you expect, right? Not hardened, obviously, because we can see here flaking. It was also hastily put together in the first place because the castings are not ideal. There are some mistakes during. This is during production, likely. I mean, I don't think someone would damage it from rough use, right? So also this machine has, as you can tell, a plain bearing at the front, which is good because plain bearings are kind of resistant to vibrations and chatter. So I don't know about that. The trade-off is obviously it can run slower. There are machines, exactly these one machines with non-friction bearings in the front. This one is not. This is plain bearing machine. Also, this flange, mounting flange, this is made of cast iron, and it does not want to come off spindle. It just doesn't. There is a thread on there. I'm not sure what kind of thread it is, what exact thread it is, but if this won't come off, I will just turn it off with tools and make a new one. I would just like to know in advance exactly what kind of thread this here is, because you can tell it's thread. If you turn it, you will kind of recognize that it winds into a spiral, right? Well, into a helix. So there you go. I'm expecting it to be a nice therapeutic project for myself. And hopefully we'll make some much more videos, much more interesting videos with this. And I'm hoping to buy a tripod where I can film using it and stuff like that. It's a unique machine. It's not really that. It's pretty rare, especially in this. If it's made in like pre-war or during a war. After the war, there are a number of these machines in better design and much more carefully made. This is obviously hastily made. During assembly, they even missed the alignment of this seal. You know, this here goes a pen. I removed it. I want to clean it and possibly even repaint it. When I'm done with that, I will put the pen back in. But you can tell, and this seal was put this way by the factory because it has only 4 holes for bolts, and these are in this place, so it couldn't have been moved back and forth unless someone remade the seals, which I really doubt. But yeah, interesting. I do have all the parts for the machine, so I have a tailstock, I have a compound slide, and gearbox and everything else. It's just not mounted. I had to bring her in through the door in parts, so this was separated from those two legs or bases. It's got a split base. So for the moment, I'm just looking to put it together. I will see if I can remove the flange. If not, I'm going to start doing projects with her until I'm ready. First couple of projects are to fix the other machine, which is under this mess here. But this is, of course, after I sort out the shop. I need a couple of shelves and everything else to organize. And as stated on the internet websites, this machine is not a universal lathe. There's no screw cutting capabilities or anything like that. She has a automatic movement of well, she has a gearbox, so you can or Norton gearbox as it's called, to have automatic turning and facing capabilities, but no thread cutting. And just because transmission is not via gears, it's just connected via pulleys to the gearbox, which is underneath there somewhere in that general area. Why it was needed to make a machine that cannot do threads, and why is it called production, I have no idea, because it doesn't really look like a chucker machine or capstan lathe or something like that. It's almost as a universal lathe. It just lacks gear cutting capabilities. And it's not my first production lathe. I had a Lathe lathe, an old blue lathe that had also no gear cutting capabilities, empty headstock, only belts in there, but it had two compound slides, and the second compound slide you could sort of set up precisely to cut tapers, stuff like that. So I could imagine why that was a production machine. I don't know why this is called production machine, because it almost is a universal lathe. This is in the corner a motor and gearbox. So it has two gearboxes. One is this, which comes directly attached to the motor, and the whole assembly goes up and down in order to mount and tension the V-belts. V-belts that I removed from this were soaked and just disintegrating in hands. You could squeeze it in as a toothpaste. They were in that bad of shape, so I cut them when I disassembled them. I kept one so that I can order or go and buy exactly the same or a little bit longer, because I think these that the 3 V-belts that I removed from it were a bit shorter than they needed to be. And this goes, the whole thing, this side goes into there, right? So you can see here it can go up and down, and that's why it's provisioned like that. You can sort of mount it from the side and tension it up and down. So yeah, that's how it is. Don't mind the sawdust in there. It's still picking up all the oil that I wish to remove, because it's delivered in 43. The machine stinks. Apron, the previous owner, the one that I bought the machine from, he mounted these sort of knobs, which are likely from automotive application. It's almost certainly not designed with these round knobs or handles. It had like short, handle types mounted on it. So he bought all the same and there for that lever in the headstock. So yeah. Yeah, as I was saying, I bought it from a gentleman who said she was in a school, and I believe him. She was not taken care of.